guys, and welcome back to the Boundary Riders mic off the whole time. Are you a fucking idiot? I'm so sorry, guys. I'm an idiot. I had it off because I had a stream going on another... Oh. Thank you, Muffin, for letting me know. I wouldn't have known that for the rest of the stream. I'm an idiot. Thank you. I'm a fucking idiot. Thank you for letting me know, man, because that was dumb of me. I set up this stream really fucking early. I was like, alright, I got this all set up, and now I'm fucking... Oh, I'm a moron. Thank you for letting me know, man. I'm an idiot. Gets out the back here. Pedlar couldn't get the boot to ball and threw for a point. That's what I get for not checking it, dumbass. So now in the middle of the ground, the Crows. Keane did okay. Gives it off to Miller. Tussled on the wing here is Dawson and McInerney, but the Crows still have the football. Schonberg on the wing. Sends the ball towards the forward 50. Great mark from Andrews working back. So McInerney up slowly. He's slowly walking towards the wing here to try and give an option here for Andrews. Looks a little bit worse for Webb, but he's okay. Danaher in the one-on-one. Bodied Keane up nicely. Just couldn't bring it down. Saligo got a high one who gets the free kick. So now Saligo centers the ball. Brilliant kick, finds Miller. Went to go give it a Crouch, then went the other way. Good kick inside the forward 50. Keys couldn't mark, but he gathers it well, Ben Keys. The ball on the boot wasn't the best. And off for behind. So now long ball down the wing, one-on-one. Danaher pushed Dawson under it. Gets towards Keane. Good pressure there from the Crows. Saligo gets the handball away to Dawson. Went to go, then worked it back inside. Brilliant kick too. Now Crouch off to Miller. Usually a pretty good ball user. Sends a long ball towards Taylor Walker, who ran back with the flight, then left the ball behind. Pryor out towards Andrews, trying to break out of the tackle, working back, then dragged down from Pedlar. Umpire called on... Oh, he gets a little bit of a reprieve from the boundary line. Oh, that's a terrible throw-in. Walker working hard. Neither ruckman get to it. Fogarty takes it out of there. Did okay. Handball was brilliant. And now Crouch on the left! On the full. So a kick and a half back now. Finds Andrews. Had a pretty good start. Little low ball. Good kick. He finds McKenna. He wants to work it back inside. He finds Bailey. He's had a brilliant start to this one. Just working it up slow and steady here, the Lions. McCluggage had a brilliant first term. 2 goals and about 9 touches in his 150th. Now Rayner. Still 8 minutes to go, second term. Sends the ball into the pocket to a leading Eric Hipwood. That was a brilliantly well-weighted kick there from Rayner. Hipwood works it in short, but Hinge was just reading that like a book. Took the mark of the intercept. Kick to Crouch was about a 5-metre kick. Michael Annie gave it away quickly, and then he's dragged down. Could be in trouble, and he is. Free kick got Eric Hipwood. To get a reprieve here after that poor decision earlier. He's a little bit close to the goal. Still a pretty tough angle for a left footer. Just Crouch sold his teammate under so much pressure, and Michael Annie just couldn't deal with it. Dragged down. Chance here for Eric Hipwood to give the Lions a 2-goal lead. So Eric Hipwood doesn't exactly mind having set shots from this distance, from this angle. Got a pretty good connection with the last kick he had on goal. This one's a pretty nice connection. He's hooked it just a little bit too much. Through for a point. So 32 minutes gone in the first half of the Matildas game. It's still 0-0. Off half back now, the Crows. Long balls towards our forward here now. One-on-one is Walker. Getting back there was Andrews, but he gets out the back. Easy play here for Ben Keys. Gives it off to his ex-captain and Taylor Walker, who drills it home from the line. Great finish from Walker, and the Crows back to within 1 point. How you doing, Robbo? You a Lions fan, are we? So Walker now, I think that's his second. Yeah, that's his second. McAndrew's got the most goals kicked so far for any player with the 3. Yeah, so still 32 minutes gone in the first half. The Australia-France game, 0-0. So it's chasing hard for Charlie Curno's spot, who plays later tonight against the Demons. Back in the middle now. Bounce again was really poor. That's the third one they've messed up, and they didn't even call that one back. Murphy gets off the little handball towards Dunkley, who can't gather it cleanly. Dawson neither. Now Archie working back against the grain. Neil to Danaher. Did well. Great handball. Now Rayner sends the ball to the other wing here. Not the best looking kick. Makes Berry work hard for it. Sloan got a terrible bounce. Did well, then he'll let the ball go. Now McCluggage off to Zorko. He's got Berry, but he decides to go with a little short kick inside the forward 50. Gunston dragged down there from Nankervis. Great tackle. Hinge stops for a moment, then gives it off. Laird off to Nankervis, who takes a bounce. The young man. Half kick down towards the wing. Spoiled away there from Walker, and it'll be out of bounds. But at the moment, Gunston's down. A lot of players in the wars in this game so far. Gunston grabbing his knee. Oh, yeah. Unlucky there, Unlucky there, Gunston. His leg got caught under the Nankervis tackle, and he grabbed immediately for it. Yeah, it's not a natural turn. Gunston's going to be in a bit of trouble here. So he is walking it off. We obviously saw Mitch Hinge earlier in this game, who had a hyperextension on his knee. Went down to the rooms and he's back on now with a heavily strapped knee. Trying to walk it off here, Jack Gunston. He'll get assessed by the docs. So Fletcher getting on the bike, starting to warm up. Obviously, it's precaution. He's definitely not being subbed out straight away with Jack Gunston. He is getting off the ground, but pretty slowly. Back in the ruck, O'Brien. Little tap out towards Sloan. Did well to get the hands to it. Was clean. Now Millerer. Stepped twice. Did well, Millerer. And sends the ball inside the forward 50. Walker, not in the best position. And Thilthorpe, neither. Cut off well there from Andrews. It goes short to McKenna. And now right in the defensive goal square is Payne, who has the ball. Works that dangerous ball. Worked hard, though, as Starskovich took the mark. So he can go with a long kick down the wing. Eventually does. Pack of players form. Going up there. McCluggage couldn't bring it down. Neil. Been a little bit quieter in the second term. Dragged down there. Fogarty on Pryor, and he gets a free kick paid against him for his troubles. So Fogarty was actually a great tackle, but he just held on for too long. So Pryor at halfback has the free kick. Sends a high ball towards the wing. Up goes Archie. At the back now, Keane. Jams it on the boot. High ball back the other direction. Keys in a one-on-one. Will they get there? Just goes out of bounds. Spoiled out for a boundary throw-in. Called for an out of bounds on the full by a few players around there. A lot of contentious talk about the boundary play last night. There was a lot in the Swans game earlier today. So about 4.5 minutes to go. Lions lead it by the 1 point. Crows started this game off brilliantly. The Lions have fought back since. Little tap down. Coming through there was Robertson. Had a brilliant first quarter. Gets off the handball to Rayner. Tries to step Laird. Gave it back to Robertson, who kept going. Great play. The kick was touched though. Hinge. Dragged down there from Archie. Now the Crows can go. Crouch. Sends the ball towards half forward. One-on-one here. Great mark there from Pedlar. He's done well early in this game, Luke Pedlar. Hasn't had a lot of touches, but he's done well when he's had it. Goes inside the forward 50 to McAdam, and he hits him. Chance here for Shane McAdam to get his fourth first half goal. Hasn't had a lot of touches, Shane McAdam, but when he's had it, he's done well with it. He only had the 5 touches so far, McAdam. But his 3 shots at goal have all been straight through the middle. Chance here for McAdam to drill this one home. So McAdam comes in, stares down a big opportunity for the Crows, but he's hooked it too much. And scores a level here at the Gabba. McKenna, a little bit dangerous. Saligo held it onto him. Just gets off the handball. Great smother there from Crouch. Coming out the back now. McAdam gets it out towards Laird. Now Crouch stepped in one way, then went the other. Handball towards the feet of Saligo. And Neil knocks him out of bounds. So just over 3 minutes to go first half. Scores all tied up. So now Walker and O'Brien McInerney do battle. Did well there, the Lions. Robertson works it out the back to McKenna. Sends a high ball towards the wing in front of the interchange gates. He hit Danaher on the number on his back. And now they work it forward here. McCarthy did nicely. Danaher weaving well. Works inside, then drills the ball inside the forward 50. Cameron turned well. Did well against Michaelani. Now he handballs over the top to McCarthy. Had a handball option. Didn't need it. McCarthy drills it home. Lions back in front. Great work from Joe Danaher on the wing. On the wing, he had a real chance to take that ball. Hit his number on his back, but he just kept on working forward. And McCarthy as well did brilliantly on the wing. Winds up with the brilliant finish and the reward. And McCarthy runs over to Berry, who was running all on his own inside the goal square. Just to say, yeah, that was mine, mate. So just under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Lions lead it by a goal. McCarthy with his first. Thumps it down now. McInerney, little tap down. He can't gather his own tap though. Crouch out the back to Hinge. Sends a tumble punt towards half forward. Almost took that one there, Pedler. Gets out the back now, Saligo. Great tackle from Leicester. 2.5 minutes to go now. Matilda's France game at the moment. Still 0-0. 39 minutes gone first half. Little tap down McInerney. Took it out of the ruck himself. Sends about a 10-metre ball towards Miller and Bailey. Gets out the back of them. Crouch off to Schonberg. Had a pretty good first half. High ball towards the forward 50. Pedler just got a sport away from him. Fogarty working hard. Socketed it off the ground. Should have probably just let it go out of bounds. Socketed on the full. Free kick will go to the Lions. Oh, a little low kick there from Leicester. Just finds Berry. And he tight to the boundary line to find Bailey. So Bailey kicked the one so far. Had a pretty good first half. Been a bit quiet in the past 20 minutes. Sends the ball down the wing. O'Brien spores it away. Hinge in front did well. Now Crouch always gets those handballs. Now Schonberg inside the forward 50. Fogarty's at the back. 1-2. Probably got a free kick for his troubles. He didn't. That's a little bit unlucky there for Fogarty. Andrews just took the body. Didn't take much of the ball at all. But it's inside their forward 50 for the Crows. Late second quarter. So about 40 minutes out from the Crows' goal. Walker will take the ruck duties against McInerney. He's already got one of those goals from the ruck so far. Walker out the back. Couldn't get it rather at Pedler. Drove his head into Dunkley and he gets a free kick. And then 50 metres will go the Crows' way, so Pedler will get a certainty. I want to look at that free kick again because Pedler did get a high one, but was his head... Did he duck? I don't think he did. I think he had his head over the football. I want to look at that one again, but nonetheless, I was pretty undisciplined from the Lions not to hand the ball back. And Pedler will get a certainty on the goal line. So may not have had a lot of touches, Luke Pedler. He's only had the 3, but he's had a lot of influence on this game so far. Getting into some good positions. Already has a goal assist so far. And this will be a certainty on the goal line. Luke Pedler comes in, drills it home. Scores all square with 1.5 to go in the first half. Hang on. Oh, yeah, that's terrible. I just want to see that again. So, yeah, the throwback was terrible. I think it was Barry. I just want to see the high free kick again. So Luke Pedler, oh, little bit unlucky. He did drop their head, and then he grabbed his head. I don't know. I guess they got a little bit of the, haven't got really the rub of the green so far, the Crows. So I guess they get one back there. Gunston on the bench at the moment, got his knee strapped up. Looks like he's going to come back on. So good news for the Lions. O'Brien almost gets the tap forward. McInerney trying to get it towards Bailey. Dunkley coming through. Tackled well there from Sloan. Late one chance here for the Crows. That was almost a throw. Play on. Out the back now the Crows working forward. Inside the forward 50. Thilthorpe couldn't take the mark. Great work from Leicester for that scrambling defence. And gets out of bounds. Forward pocket here for the Crows. So a chance here inside the forward pocket. Walker takes the front spot. It'll tap down towards Fogarty. Couldn't glove it. Now Payne sends a high ball just outside the forward 50. Pack form. Spoiled away there from Ballas. And now towards Bailey, who gathers it nicely. Sends the ball down the wing, but it's going to be coming back with pace. Worrell takes the mark right on centre wing. Was going to go with pace, but decided to go back off the mark to make me look like a liar. And then sends it inside the forward 50. Spoiled away there from Andrews. Archie, good tackle on Crash, but he got rid of it. And now Saligo off to Pedler. Now Walker on the left boot. Got an absolute floater towards the top of the goal square. That's all Lions. Rayner takes it. No, he didn't take it. He dropped it. So still 24 seconds to go in this first half. Crows have a stoppage in the forward pocket. After Brisbane had a really good start to this second term, the Crows have fought back very well and are level pegging at the moment. A chance here for a late one. Umpire throws it in now. Walker and McInerney. Walker taps it down. He can gather his own tap here. He does. Keeps it in bounds. Sligo off the ground! He's kicked it through for a point. So Wilmot takes the kick in, long high ball towards 2-on-2 here. Archie and Danaher, neither of them can grab it. Goes out of bounds. So 6 seconds to go. The Crows may get a late chance if they can get a really quick clearance. But other than that, they probably will go in with the 1-point lead. McInerney, a little tap towards Laird. Can't gather it cleanly. Duck the head there, Bailey. Sloan drags him down, and that will be the halftime siren. So at halftime, the Crows, away from home, lead by the 1 point. 7-6-48 to the Lions. 7-7-49 to the Crows. And sorry for anyone who was watching originally who didn't have the I didn't have the audio on because I'm a moron. Sorry about that, guys. I'll bring up the statistics now, guys, when we move to halftime. Alrighty, guys. Oh, hang on. There we go. Alright, guys. So at half time, we have the leading disposal getter on the ground is Matt Crouch. career as he's been for the most of it. He's had a lot of touches, and probably a big reason why he hasn't been in the side for a lot of it is because he doesn't have a lot of influence. But I think he's had a pretty good first half. He has 19. Miller with the 15, and then 14 to Neil, McCluggage, and Bailey all round out the top 5. And if the AFL Fantasy watchers out there, we have McCluggage with the 65, Miller with the 60, Walker with the 56 along with Zach Bailey, and then 54 to Lockie Neal rounds out the top 5. And we're back, guys, in about 15-20 minutes with the second half.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Boundary Riders podcast. Today we're up to episode 23 and just finished round 21, really shaping up the season now. Only 3 more rounds to go after this one. We saw Hawthorn probably get one of the biggest upsets of the season with a massive win over Collingwood. Carlton beat St Kilda to almost secure their spot in the 8. And we've got a plumber here at the moment, so that is the noise in the background. We're actually joined with our co-host that's barely here anymore, Jack. But of course, we did have round 21 come up, and it's going to be really hard to see who makes the finals from here.
Yeah, I can't. It's such a logjam. It's really hard to see who's actually going to take the spot and want the finals.
Well, at the moment, we have 5th is Carlton, 6th is the Bulldogs, I believe. Yeah. Or the Bulldogs. Then we have the Saints in 7th, Giants in 8th, Geelong 9th, Sydney 10th, Adelaide 11th.
Yeah, and that's probably it.
That's probably it now. Who do you think makes the 8? What do you think the 8 shapes up to be now?
I think the Saints and the Dogs miss, and I think the Crows make it, and I think it's the Cats, isn't it? Yeah, the Crows and the Cats make it. From what it is now.
Do you think Swans just miss out? Do you think they're the unlucky one?
The Swans, I think, are going to, with their run. If the game against the Crows was in Sydney, I'd be tipping the Swans, but I don't think they're going to win it in Adelaide. So I think that's the game that shapes it. I think that's the game that shapes it.
Yeah, but also the Bulldogs just have to win one more game, I think, and 2 more games, and they make it. Yeah. But they do have a bit of a weird run home for them. Yeah. Obviously, we'll get into that later today as well. But what I wanted to start off with is actually some breaking news here, which is round 24 has been announced. The full fixture. We obviously know the games for quite a while, but the games have been revealed. So on Friday night at 7:20 for Adelaide, 7:50 for Melbourne. Essendon versus Collingwood, massive game, obviously on Channel 7. On Saturday afternoon, we have North Melbourne versus the Gold Coast Suns at Blunston Arena. Hawthorn versus Fremantle at the MCG this Saturday afternoon. Saturday twilight is Brisbane versus St Kilda at the Gabba, massive game. Saturday night we have Geelong versus the Western Bulldogs down GMHBA Stadium, and West Coast versus the Crows at Optus Stadium. And on Sunday we have some massive games as well. Port Adelaide versus Richmond is the early game. Sydney versus Melbourne is the mid game, and Carlton versus the Giants is the final game of the round. And at this stage, I think that that Carlton GWS game is really going to decide who makes the 8 from here.
Yeah.
And also the Swans Melbourne game is massive as well, because Melbourne, I think at that stage will be trying to push for top 2, so it's not like it's going to be a gimme game for the Swans, as Melbourne don't really care about it. Also, we've got the Saints against Brisbane. That's a massive game for them as well, because St Kilda have to win at least 2 more, probably a game and a half, 2 more games to make it from here, so that may be one they have to pull. And I think especially also Saturday night, Geelong versus Bulldogs, that may also be a decider as well. So a couple of massive games coming into round 24. But now I think we'll move into the review of round 21, which I actually did by myself because we just had to get it out on Sunday. But here it is now, guys.
So guys, until we get to the review of round 21, massive round that we had. And we started off with the Bulldogs versus the Tigers. And I think the Bulldogs just are a huge response team. We've seen that throughout a lot of their season. They will respond after getting a lot of backlash throughout the week that was. And they did get a lot of backlash last week. But they did respond very nicely, and led by Marcus Bontempelli. He was massive. One of the best games from the season. That's a big thing to say, because he's had a lot of big games this season, but he led from the front for the Bulldogs and got them over the line, in my opinion. They did win this game by 55 points, so it's a pretty big win for them. It does give them a little bit of percentage, which knocks over the Saints and a few others around that category, and the Giants as well, who did lose. But that's actually a good win for the Bulldogs, and they've got a pretty decent run home. Not the best, not the worst. They do have, let me quickly just get this up. Yeah, Hawthorn next week, West Coast, and Geelong. Now, Hawthorn is down in Tassie, so that's going to be a bit of a difficult game for them. West Coast at home, they'll win pretty easily. And then they've got Geelong at the end of the season down in Cardinia Park. So that's going to be a hard game for them. But the Bulldogs have got close down there a few times. We'll get to the votes now. 3 votes went to Marcus Bontempelli. Like I said, he was massive. Best player on the ground by a long way. Liberatore got the 2 votes, and then Ugal Hagan got the 1 vote. He started their team off very nicely in the first quarter with the 4 goals, and then was pretty good throughout the rest of the game. Kicked the goal late in the last quarter as well. After that, we get to nearly one of the biggest massive upsets of the season. Bombers versus West Coast. If it wasn't for Carl Langford, they lose this game. Bombers went up by 1 point. Boy, were they lucky to get away with this one. They had a 30-point lead, I think, through the third quarter, and they nearly gave up a win against the West Coast Eagles. And I think if it was against anyone else, even North Melbourne, they'd lose this game, the Bombers. They just don't really put a lot of teams away. We've seen that a few times this season, and a lot of times haven't been able to get over the line against teams as well. And from a really good start to the season, they've kind of petered off a little bit. I don't think they were going to be really expected to make finals, but teams like halfway through the season, it was St Kilda and Essendon who were like the really outliers going into, you know, the second half of the season, who were sitting in the top 8, looking pretty comfortable. And both of them have really fallen off at the end of this season. And I don't know about St Kilda, they're still in the 8, but they're clinging on for dear life. The Bombers won't make it now. They have completely shot themselves in the foot. I guess that's kind of fair for a young side. It is still pretty disappointing for the fans of the Bombers, though, to miss the finals after having such a promising start. The shining light from this game, though, was Kyle Langford. He's kicked 45 goals for the season. I think I've said this a few times. He is one of the most underrated players in the AFL. One player who I would really love to see in my team if I was starting up, because he's such a good forward. He's a pretty good midfielder, and he's really good down in defence as well. He's an all-round player. It's interesting because he was trained as a midfielder, I think, in pre-season, and they've just chucked him up forward, and he's kicked... he's on track for 50 goals here, so he's been a real shining light for the Bombers, and he's definitely something they can build off of in the next few years as they try to build towards a really good competitive side. So the 3-2-1 votes, I gave 3 votes to Kyle Langford, 2 votes to Tim Kelly, and the 1 vote to Zach Merritt. You got to give West Coast a little bit of credit. They were quite good in this game, but they lose again, and... Look, to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised that West Coast actually showed up, to be fair. I thought that last week they would have been pretty happy with the performance against North Melbourne, be happy to take the number 1 pick at the end of the season, but maybe it looks like that they would like to win a few more games and aren't looking for the number 1 pick at this stage. So, if I'm North Melbourne, I'm a bit scared right now because West Coast have actually performed a lot better in the past few weeks, and if they knock them out of if they knock North Melbourne out of the 17th spot, and after a woeful season, one of the worst performing teams in 20, 30 plus years, West Coast, to not finish bottom, that's embarrassing for North Melbourne by a huge margin. And we'll talk about them in a little bit as well. But after that, we get to the Crows versus the Gold Coast. The Crows basically won this one in the first quarter. First quarter and a half. Gold Coast did start to fight back in the end and did make it a little bit interesting, but the Crows just burst away in the end. Good to see them pushing for finals now, and they're definitely joining that log jam in that 5th to 6th position, all the way down to about 12th now. So they're definitely giving themselves a ripe old crack. They don't have the hardest run home. They've got Brisbane next week in Brisbane, so that's a pretty tough one. Then they've got the Swans at home. That is a massive game. I think whoever loses that is eliminated from the finals race. And they've got West Coast in the final round away from home. So I could bank 2 wins there, and at the moment, with them being 10 wins in the AFL, you need 12 and a half wins, maybe 13 to get there. If they can get 2 wins, they give themselves a chance with their really good percentage. So, good win from them. They needed it. Gold Coast fought hard, but they couldn't get it done in the end, and that's probably their finals race done and dusted. Interesting how if Damien Hardwick does get the job, if he can get him there next year, I think he's got the list ripe and ready to go. If they can bring in a couple of players with Damien Hardwick's appointment, that could definitely bring in some new virality to the team as well. We'll get to the votes now. 3 votes to Darcy Fogarty. Was massive up forward. He kicked 3 goals, but was also massive around the ground. 2 votes to Mitch Hinge, who has been brilliant off halfback. One of the most improved players at the Crows this year. And 1 vote to Matt Crouch. Interesting that this guy has not been in the team most of the year, and suddenly now he's into the team, and he's doing a pretty good job. Next game, we move to one of the bigger upset, probably the biggest upset of the weekend by far, one of the biggest upsets of the season. Hawthorn have beaten Collingwood. You look at this one on paper, on the ladder, you would just think this is Collingwood's game every single day of the week, especially wanting to respond after that Carlton performance last week. But Hawthorn came out and really showed a good way how to beat Collingwood. And a lot of the top 4 sides at the moment aren't performing that well. Melbourne did get over the line against North Melbourne over the weekend. Brisbane only just clutched up against the Dockers, and Port Adelaide have lost 4 in a row now. So all the top 4 teams are really underperforming. This may be a year where a team outside of the top 4 can actually go all the way if they can hit their form in the right time. Because there's a lot of teams out just inside the 8 to like Carlton, Sydney, the Crows even as well. If those guys can make the finals, I think they can give it a real shake because these teams are coming in with some form, and a lot of the top 4 teams are really dropping off at the moment. So at this stage, it's really an open race, and Collingwood really need to start lifting here because this is a pretty poor performance. They lose again, and Hawthorn, I know a lot of people have said that they've had to eat their words, and that's including me, but they're building a good team here. They really had to cut very deep. I still don't know if that was the right decision, but at this stage, it seems like it's going in the right direction for the Hawks. The votes now, we get to the 3 votes, which is James Sicily. He was massive. I think that's a pretty obvious one to get the 3 votes. 2 votes to Dylan Moore, not Darcy Moore, Dylan Moore. He was massive, kicked 2 goals as well. And then Will Day got the 1 vote for me. He was very good as well, playing off that midfield a little bit, getting all around the ground, Will Day. He's been very good this season as well. And if they did keep people like Tom Mitchell and Jay Gromira and things like that, he probably doesn't get that spot in the midfield. So good to see Will Day performing quite well as well. And it's also interesting because Tom Mitchell got subbed out as well. He was injured, but he's not really hitting the 22 in Collingwood at the moment. So maybe it was the right decision by Sam Mitchell. I still aren't 100%, but at the moment he's proven everybody wrong, and you've got to give him credit for that. After that, we get to Saturday night, Geelong versus Port Adelaide. Geelong just held on. It looked like at times that Port Adelaide could steal this one. And with the injuries that they've got, I think they performed very well, above all expectations. They had no recognised ruckman, really. I mean, Vicentini actually did really well in there. I think he had the highest centre clearances and clearances for the match. So very good from him. But of course, he's only a 3rd gamer. He'll grow into his career, I'm sure. But he definitely looks like he's ready for the level. Yeah, I think he's not exactly a AFL player just of yet. But of course, he had to come in today and give Port Adelaide something in there. And he was very good, along with Zach Butters, Jason Horne-Francis, and Rosie as well. But Geelong, down in Geelong, is always going to be a hard matchup for Port Adelaide, and they weren't able to get it done. And Geelong do keep their finals hopes alive. At the moment, though, the Cats have a pretty tough run home. They have the Pies this week, then they have the Cats... They have the Pies this week, then they have the Saints, and then they have the Bulldogs down in GMHBA Stadium. St Kilda looked okay today against Carlton, I'll give them that, but you think they win at least 2 of those, but at this stage they may have to win all 3. I don't know if they will. I think that they'll be fine if they can win 2 of those 3 games, but at the moment it's getting real close in that middle region right now, and yeah, I think basically St Kilda and the Bulldogs are the 2 vulnerable teams, along with the Giants. But yeah, the Cats did well. They needed this win. They got it. Led by Brian Myers, who is just the assist king. I know he hasn't got a lot of goals this year, but I think it's pretty hard to go past him as an All-Australian forward. He's got so many goal assists. He's a great user of the football. And he was just massive in this game as well. So he did get the 3 votes. The 2 votes went to Zach Butters and the 1 vote to Ollie Henry, who was massive in this game. And really lifted with the loss of Tom Hawkins over his injury. And he may come back in a couple of weeks. I'm not too sure about that. It's going to be tough for him to make it back, Tom Hawkins. But yeah, that was good for the Cats to get over the line against Port Adelaide. And Port Adelaide have just hit a real wall. I know they've got a lot of injuries and they just keep on stacking up. But at the moment, they are 10 points from 5th spot, which is Carlton. And Carlton's run home is not easy. They've got Melbourne, Gold Coast, and the Giants. But they want to be a little bit careful. I don't think Carlton will be able to knock them out of the top 4. But they've got to be careful because if they don't hit form towards the end of the season, they've got a pretty tough run home, Port Adelaide, as well. They've got the Giants next week. Then they've got the Dockers in Perth and Richmond. I mean, I could really only see... I could see them winning all 3 of them. But I could also see them losing all 3 of them. So if they hit the finals, I don't think a team who's hit finals has been in the top 4 and lost 7 in a row. I don't think Port will do that. I think they will bounce back in the next couple of weeks. But they've got to be very careful at this stage, especially going into the final series. After that, we get to the Battle of the Bridge for the Sydney Derby. Massive game. This was a great game of footy to watch. The Giants started off okay. Sydney just bounced back. Good second quarter from them. And they just were able to hold the Giants at bay for the rest of the game. The Swans really give themselves a chance now of making the 8. They're currently 10th. Have an awkward run home. They have the Gold Coast next week, which have been their bogey side for a while. The Crows at Adelaide Oval and Melbourne to finish off the season at home. Massive 3 games. I don't know if they can win all 3 of them. They may have to, though, if they want to make the finals. And if they do, they'd be on 7 on the trot, and they could definitely get the top 8 a shake. But it's going to be massive, and they did get a win against the informed Giants. So they're definitely hitting some form late in the season, and led by young gun Errol Goulden. He has been massive this season, Errol Goulden. If he doesn't make the All-Australian team, I think it's just bullshit. As a wingman right now, him, Lockie Hunter, Ed Langdon, I think, and Josh Dacos, I think he's leading all of them. I think if he's playing in Collingwood right now, he has been the most talked about player in the competition, maybe with Nick Dacos. He has been massive this season for the Swans. Amazing ball user, always gets his touches, always around the ball, tough over it, a good finisher. I don't think there's anything you can say about him that's weakness in his game, and he's definitely getting a lot of votes towards the end of the season as well, especially in the Riders' medal, which is of course way more important than the Brownlow medal. He's getting a lot of votes late in the season, so he obviously got the 3 votes. Tom Green got the 2 votes, and the 1 vote went to Hayden McLean, was massive up forward with the 4 goals. Went into the ruck as well as second ruck, and he actually performed quite well in there as well as he has for quite a while now. But I think with obviously the Buddy Franklin retirement, he did actually do quite well up forward, but obviously Tom Hickey had to come back so he could give a little bit more support to Logan McDonald and Joel Amati. So good play from Sydney. I think the 3 key forwards can work for them, and I think that they're going to be a tough team to beat in the next couple of weeks. After that, we get down to Tassie, North Melbourne versus Melbourne. First game back for Alistair Clarkson. They started off very, very well. North Melbourne kicking 5 goals to, I think, 1 in the first quarter. But then they only kicked 5 more goals for the rest of the game, and Melbourne bounced back pretty well. We're able to just pull them back, and a really good performance by Melbourne in the end. We're able to get 100 points yet again. It looks like they've finally found the forward structure. If it wasn't for the fact that Harrison Petty went down in the 3rd quarter with an injury, really unfortunate for him. They finally look like to have found the combination that they needed up forward, but unfortunately he's gone down. So they were able to beat North Melbourne, but I don't know how they're going to do it the next few weeks. It's going to be interesting who they'll put up there now and see who they can finally find a score from. But North Melbourne, I mean, look, they're not as bad as West Coast, but, I mean, they've lost to West Coast. They nearly lost their 17th spot down to 18th again. We have not seen a team finish bottom 4, I think, this many consecutive years in a row for a very long time. It's not looking good, and look, we'll see how they go next season with a pre-season and a whole season probably from Alistair Clarkson, they would hope, but there's not much to build off of at the moment, and they're not looking good at all. This season's going to be a very tough run home for them, the next 3 weeks, trying to just get to the end of the season. I think they'd be happy to call the season now for them. They've got the Bombers, the Tigers, and the Gold Coast to win the season. So look, how the Bombers played last week, I mean, they give a chance, but, I mean, are they playing good enough? I don't know. We'll see how they go. The votes now, though, we get to Christian Petrarca with the 3 votes. Jack Zeeble with the 2. He was brilliant. And I think he just has to play in this team next year. Hopefully he goes on for North fans, but he was just very good. And the 1 vote went to Lockie Hunter. After that, we get to one of the biggest games of the round going in, which was St Kilda versus Carlton. Whoever won this game basically secured their spot in the 8. And the team who lost it was just going to be right back in the pack. And Carlton, after being down for a lot of this game, in the last quarter, we just able to pull in front and kept St Kilda goalless in the last quarter, which was massive from them. And now I think Carlton are pretty well secured. Alrighty guys, 3rd quarter now is underway. Third quarter is underway. From the tap down, McInerney gets it out. Now McCluggage gets a handball out wide to Fletcher, who has came on for Gunston. Now Dunkley working backwards though the Lions. Sends the ball out wide here, Wilmot. Just tracks the line and goes out of bounds. So working it down now. Fletcher trying to gather it. Laird keeps it in bounds. Did well there, Fletcher. Went to try and trick Crouch, but eventually worked on his right boot on the wing. Hard kick. Dunkley couldn't gather, but Archie did well. Ran hard. Tackled well from Laird. Dragged down to be a stoppage. So knockdown now. McInerney gets the ball, try to get it away, but got it smothered. Neil got it tackled well, and he's dragged down holding the ball. Murphy plays on now. Sends a high ball back inside the forward 50. Walker gets in front. Good support from Payne. Kept in front. Keys. Dribbles it towards goal. Great start for the Crows. Ben Keeks had a brilliant day. He nails a big goal there. Crows in front by 7 early second half. Great goal from Ben Keys. That's his second. Had a brilliant game so far. So back in the middle now. McInerney, a little tap down. McCluggage coming through well. Feigned the give and then went around on a little arc. Sends the ball towards half forward now. Getting back there was Keane. Couldn't grab it though. And now Cameron's dangerous. Danaher looks like he's going to get a free kick here, Charlie. He does. Michael Annie held on. A little bit too much. Free kick will go his way. Very, very tentative free kick there to Charlie Cameron, but he'll take it. Not very much in it. The Lions need a little bit of a settler here. They're down by 7 points at the moment. Haven't lost a game at home this year. Cameron comes in. Kicks on about 45 metres out. Fades a little, but it's straight through. Lions get one back. Tough decision against Michael Annie. It was probably there, but it was a very tentative free kick. Nonetheless, Charlie Cameron kicks the goal. So a free kick will go, ball up will be recalled. It's on KO, man. Back in the ruck. Trying to get rid of it there, Laird. Just got boot to ball. Did okay. Now Zorko handballs it out towards McCluggage. Just couldn't glove it. Now Archie working back onto it nicely. Zorko about to get run down. Just got the kick away towards Fletcher. He takes a good mark. Strong hands from the young man. So Fletcher eventually goes now into the pocket. Packer players form. Hipwood couldn't take it. Cameron trying to turn Michael Annie. Great tackle. Dragged him out of bounds. One point lead to the Crows. Early second half. McInerney taps it down. Laird couldn't glove it. McInerney out of the stoppage. Drives it towards goal. It gets to the line. Fisted through by Worrell. Scores are all level. So Worrell will take the kick in here. 53 minutes gone. Early second half of the Matildas game. It is 0-0 still. Long kick down the wing. Up goes Pedler. Couldn't bring it down. Now Laird works it out wide to Saligo, who takes a bounce straight away. He can take a second here. Decides to drive a little short ball towards Fogarty, towards McAdam. He's kicked 3 goals so far. He wheels and goes into the forward 50. Great mark to Walker. He's in range here, Taylor Walker. Decides to go in short. Great kick in the end and finds Luke Pedler. That was a great kick there from Walker. I think most players were expecting him to go for goal, but Pedler just got into a little pocket of space and takes the mark. He's got one today, Luke Pedler. Had a pretty good game. Hasn't had much influence on it. Hasn't had much touches on it, but he's had a good influence. So Luke Pedler, not much angle to speak of, about 35 metres out. Drills it home. Crows back in front. They're up for the fight, the Adelaide Crows. So we're back in the middle once again. Taps it out the back there. O'Brien tries to gather his own tap. Couldn't. Dunkley out to McCluggage. And now Robertson. Tumble punt towards the forward 50. Ipwood gets in front and takes it. Wasn't paid. Hard call there from the umpire. McCarthy gets dragged down by Hinge and it'll be a stoppage. Oh, I think he's very well gloved that there, Ipwood. Oh, it's close. I don't know. Maybe the umpire made the right decision there. Working hard there, Saligo. Deneen Curvis still working back here, the Crows. Dawson had his hands free. Could be in trouble here. Oh, got a bit lucky there, Jordan Dawson. So just inside the forward 50 here. O'Brien knocks it down. McCluggage snaps towards goal. Got no bend on it. Out on the fall. McCluggage had a pretty good first half. Kicked 2 goals. At the moment, Gunston on the bench has his knee iced up at the moment. That's pretty concerning. Long ball towards half back here for the Crows. Dunkley gets taken high there by Dawson. Wasn't paid. Ball up. Yeah. Stoppage once again. O'Brien fists it a good 20 metres back inside, but it wasn't the best play. Zorko to McKenna with a tumble punt towards Cameron, who read it brilliantly. Michael Annie didn't really read it off the boot. Cameron all eyes for the ball there. Found that space and took the mark. Michael Annie had a pretty good first half. Charlie Cameron just getting away in the past few minutes. He's kicked 1 today. Straight in front, 30 metres out, Cameron drills it. Scores a level once again. Only had the 6 touches so far, Charlie Cameron, but he's got 2 goals now. And he is looking ominous. O'Brien wins the tap down. Neal got a bump there from Brodie Smith. Just got the ball away though. Bailey inside out a job inside the forward 50. Danaher reads it okay. Tapped away there was Nankervis. McCarthy went to give. Back on the left boot. Drills it low. Don't think it was touch, was it? I think McCarthy's got it home. He has. Lions in front. Low dribbler just wasn't touched by the Crows defender. And the Lions are back in front. Michael Annie tried to reach his boot at it. I don't know why Charlie Cameron's... I don't think he's trying to claim it. I think he's just celebrating. So McCarthy gets a goal. That's his second. Chance for the Crows. They've got a real big chance here to get a massive win away from home. Keep their finals hopes alive. They can't let it slip from here. Danaher's gone into the ruck. O'Brien got the tap, but Danaher gets the clearance. Towards half forward, great read from Hinge. Takes the ball cleanly, gives it off to Laird. Out wide, good kick. He finds Keys on the lead. Doesn't have a lot of options here, Ben Keys. Looking for it, but eventually now decides to drive it long to his tools. In front was Steelthorpe, couldn't get it. Off the spoil though, he gets it to Laird, and now a snap from goal here for the Crows. Goes wide from Rory Sloane. It's through for a point. So now McKenna in short. Wasn't 15 to Berry, so he's going to be a little bit more under pressure. Decides to send a low ball McKenna down the wing. Not a very good option. Great read, though. Got a lucky bounce there, McCluggage. He drives the ball towards half forward. Getting there is Hipwood. Good gather. Great work from Roll to keep him boundary side and takes him over the line. So Josh Rochelle has taken the shirt off, the sub-vest off, if you could call it that. He's getting a little bit more warmed up now, so it won't be long now before the Crows inject their sub. At halftime, the Lions injected theirs, which was Jasper Fletcher for Jack Gunston, who came off with a knee injury. O'Brien just spikes it towards the boundary line. Sloane trying to get away from McCluggage, but eventually seen out of bounds. Danaher taps it down. Hinge couldn't grab it. Now Neil did nicely. Rayner trying to get boot to ball. Just did in the end. Crouch gives off the handball. Smothered Laird's handball. Went on the McCluggage. Robertson trying to look for his left boot. Eventually does in the middle of the ground. It's a dangerous kick. Up goes McCarthy. Nearly dragged it down. Kept it in his possession though. And now the Lions get it forward. Wilmot breaks past one. A chance here for a highlight for the young man. He drills it. Great goal from Darcy Wilmot and the team love it. Lions get a little break. Lions kick the last three. They take a big 11-point lead. This is a great contest from McCarthy in the middle of the ground. He went up against two. He levelled it, and then Wilmot ran towards goal, broke past Hinge, and then drilled it home. So in the middle once again, the Crows need a little bit more of a lift here. Lions got the last three. O'Brien spikes it away, trying to get the clearance here. Was Sloane off the ground. Didn't get down low enough there, Lester. He gathers the little tap, though, and sends an absolute torpy back into the middle of the ground. Michaelani and Robertson fight hard. It gets out the back, though. Archie and Worrell go at it. Archie's happy to keep it in front of him. Great play there, scrambling that ball forward there, the Lions. Get it to about 50 metres out. So it looks like defender and baller, second gamer has been subbed out. Rochelle is coming in. Umpire throws it in once again. I've probably got a high one there, Danaher. Wasn't paid. Hits the ground. O'Brien's handball. Just gets to Crouch. At the back lead now Hinge. Just gets boot to ball. Sends a high ball towards the wing. Great work from Wilmot. Spikes it out of bounds. Still 64 minutes to go. 64 minutes gone in the Matildas game. It's still 0-0. So it was big talks at the lineup talk on the weekend, just before the weekend. Rochelle being dropped. He is the sub, so a big chance for him to come on and give a real impact. Now at half forward now. Coming through there is Rayner. Couldn't get rid of it. Saligo just couldn't get the handball away. Still scrambling in there. Keane dragged down by two Lions. Stoppage called just inside the forward 50 for the Lions, right at centre half forward. O'Brien just couldn't get the ball out. Rayner coming through hard, just left it behind. Keys threw that away. Play onto the call. Now Laird breaking against the grain, did okay. Miller has smothered his handball. A chance here for Bailey to make him pay. You don't want this man to get the football that close to goal. He'll always make you pay, Zach Bailey. Lions get a big break now. They've got 4 in a row. Zach Bailey's had a big game so far. Great finish there in the end. He's got 2 goals now, Zach Bailey. 16 touches. Had a massive game. He's a big barometer for this side. Great finish in the end. So 17-point lead for the Lions. It's their biggest lead of the match. McInerney knocks it down. Neal immediately met by Laird. Stoppage called. Crows just fallen away in this third quarter. O'Brien gets the tap down. Clearance forward here for the Lions, but cut off there by Nankervis. He wants to give it off to his captain. Almost dragged down there. Dawson eventually got it off the hinge. Drives it inside the forward 50. 2-on-1 here, Lions way. Lester cuts it off. Back inside. Good kick to Starskovich, who can go. Philthorpe chasing him down. But they're at the back of the Lions. The kick just didn't have enough on it. Miller cuts it off. So Miller works it inside. Centre circle right now, Mitch Hinge. He works the ball in short to Rochelle, who gives it off to Matt Crouch. Pretty good ball user, this guy. Drills it into the hands of Shane McAdam. Great work there from the Crows. This needs to go home. McAdam got 3 goals in the first half. Been a bit quiet since. Great work there from Adelaide. A chance here for McAdam to get his 4th. He's only got 4 goals once in his career. The tools of the Crows in Philthorpe, Fogarty and Walker haven't really got into the second half so far. McAdam a chance to get the fire starter. And he drills it home. McAdam nails it. Back to 11 points. Hey, my knees are freezing. Oh, my God. It's fucking cold. It's a fucking cold. Fuck me. It's freezing. So McAdam's got 4 now. And against a really good defender, accomplished defender in Brendan Starskovich. He's having a great game. So right in the middle once again we are. McInerney gets the tap down. Zorko taps it towards Neal, who gets a spiralling ball towards the half-forward line. Gets past McCarthy. Brodie Smith trying to get it to the boundary line. He does his job. Gets it out. O'Brien taps it forward, does well there, led to push his opponent back into the stoppage, gives it off to Rochelle, the sub, sends the ball down the wing, Fogarty going back with the flight, just couldn't mark it. Starskovich did well, but great work here from McAdam to cause the pressure. Andrews off to Pryor, sends the ball sky high, makes everyone go up for it, Berry did his best. Now Zorko in front, happy to see it out of bounds. Just hit the 10 more minutes to go in this third quarter. Lions by 11 points. Down at half-time by the 1 point. They kicked 5 goals in this third term so far to the Crows 3. McInerney taps it down. Crouch did well. Out to Laird. Laird gets a little inside out, a job towards half-forward. Going back with the flight was Fogarty. One, couldn't bring it down. Philthorpe gives it off to Rochelle. A chance here for the big sub goal. He does it! Great finish from Josh Rochelle. He's a huge barometer for this team. He's been down the past few weeks. Big moment there for the young man. Back to 5 points the difference. The Lions just could not man up there. Got a nice bounce there, Rochelle. Drills it home. 5 points the difference. Great work there from Fogarty just to bring that to ground. It was going to be an easy intercept mark there for the Lions. Already had the 3 touches, Rochelle. So we're back in the middle once again. Phil Thorpe's taking the ruck roll against McInerney. Got the tap and did well. Dawson thumps the ball inside the forward 50. In front was McAdam. Couldn't bring it down. It gets out the back. Lester and Wilmot working hard. Murphy, great tackle on Wilmot. He's not looking to get rid of it one bit. Umpire calls for the ball up. Inside the defensive goal square of the Lions. Walker in the ruck here. He's already kicked one of these goals today. Taps it out the back. Pedler couldn't gather it. He does in the end. Luke Pedler just couldn't get the angle on it. High ball goes out on the full. So the Matildas game at the moment. Still 0-0. 70 minutes gone. Second half. So Jared Berry will have the football to kick in. He's played on. Oh, he nearly played on out of bounds. Just gets the kick away. Up goes Archie from 3 deep. Couldn't bring it down. Worrell working hard. But Brodie Smith breaks away. Works inside. Low ball inside the forward 50. Just couldn't get there. Great work from Wilmot to cut it off. Now Berry. Tumble punt towards the middle of the ground. Danaher can't get in front. Good work. But then Keane did better. Gives it off to Brodie Smith, who then couldn't glove it. Now worked hard back onto it though. Now the Crows work away. Laird sends it inside the forward 50 to a leading Taylor Walker. Great work from Berry to get back and spoil it away. Starskovich working hard. Great work and the pressure there from McAdam. They keep it in bounds here, the Crows. Still working hard. Rochelle in the pocket. Lester gets there first. Dragged down. Oh, I got a boot to the face there. Starskovich still working hard in there. Umpire eventually calls for it. Great work there from Pryor to get back. He wants himself in this 22 towards the end of the season. Towards maybe the pinnacle of the AFL, getting the premiership. He's got to do that. Walker now gets it off the boot. Touched on the line there from Payne. Keeps it in bounds for the moment. Wasn't under pressure one bit there, Payne. Called for a point though. Chance here for the Crows. Rochelle drags down Zorko. And they nearly caused the turnover. He's got a bit lucky there, Payne. He ran that one through with real no pressure on him whatsoever. Little tap down McInerney. Coming through there was Crash. Gets it out towards Walker. Just couldn't glove it cleanly. Now Rayner. Dunkley gets it out. Rochelle tackles Robertson nicely. He started like a little ball of fire, Josh Rochelle, since he's came on. 4-point lead to the Lions. Walker, a little tap out towards Rochelle. Couldn't grab it. Now Fogarty dragged down there from McInerney. Another stoppage will be called. Both ruckmen miss it, hits the ground. Walker trying to find an option. Drag down from Dunkley, just gets the handball away. Crouch, he threw that away. Should get the free kick. Doesn't matter now. McInerney sends it inside to the middle of the ground. Free kick got to Charlie Cameron in the middle. So free kick right back to half back now. It wasn't actually to Charlie Cameron, it was to Zane Zorko. So he wants to switch it. He finds Sarskovich at half back on the other wing. Works inside. Finds Robertson. In short, just finds Zorko with the 15. And now he goes long to a one-on-one here. Fletcher got the hands up, couldn't bring it down. Schonberg looking for the handball at the back. Did well, Schonberg. Now Millerer. High ball towards the wing. Read all well there by Starskovich. And puts a little bump into Fogarty to go on with it. So true centre wing right now. Starskovich sends the long ball. Up goes Worrell. Great mark. So Worrell has it at half back. Brilliant mark there to intercept. Goes in short, finds Nan Curvis. Back to Worrell. As it at halfback, decides now to go long with the kick. Wasn't the best option. Starskovic cuts it off again. He's done that a couple of times already in the past few minutes. Again, doesn't have many options to go to. Not many Brisbane forwards leading up at the kicker. So he has to go long once again. High ball. Gets out the back. Now Curvis takes a great mark with the one hand. He's in short. Dangerous kick. Takes the mark though, Schonberg. Doesn't have a lot of options to go to. Still just under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Lions lead it by 4 points. Schonberg wants to send a long ball down the wing once again. Fogarty, both players miss it. Knocked out of bounds. Starskovic gives a little bump to Fogarty and runs to the boundary to come off. Little tap down there to O'Brien. Coming through there was Rochelle. He couldn't bring it with him. Keys did well to Miller. Still working back here, the Crows, but now the meterage man in Dawson sends it down the wing. Wilmot from behind did well to spoil it away. Goes to Neil. Neil in short. Great kick. Finds Dunkley. So Dunkley went to handball, but didn't really have an option. I don't know who he was going to handball it to. But nonetheless, works it inside Sue McKenna. Always wants to go. Gives it off to Berry. Forward of centre now, the Lions. He sends it inside the forward 50. Out the back is Charlie! The experience is just shining through in that matchup with Michael Annie. Big mark there from Charlie Cameron. Chance here to send it back out to 10 points. Great kick from Berry inside the forward 52. Just put it to the advantage of Cameron. So Charlie Cameron comes in to make it 10 points. It fades. It's the post. Big miss there. 5 points for the difference. Gets that smothered there. Michael Anning on halfback. Coming through hard. There was McCarthy. Left it behind now. Pryor puts it on the boot. Tumble punt towards the goal square. Crows defenders fight for it, but Keane takes the mark. Good mark there. He's keen to grab that one. Sends the ball down towards the other wing here. Good kick. Finds Schonberg. They got a little bit of overlap here, the Crows. He sends the long ball towards Fogarty. Does he keep it in bounds? He does, just. Took it right on the boundary line there, Fogarty. Forward half of the wing. Looking to go back inside. Great kick to Schonberg, who kept going. And now he's got an option at 50. Is Keys. Great mark. Keys went to go handball. Decided not to. Don't know if he's got this distance in him, so he goes to 50. Not 15 there to Dawson. Definitely wasn't the 15. Great work there from the Lions to be aware of that. Neil handballs it over the top towards Danaher, who's got some time. Off to Dunkley, who just gets the ball away. Sends it towards half forward. Chance here to get one on the counter here, the Lions. Cameron went to step. Then he goes with a little ball towards the top of the goal square. All on his own is Cam Rayner. And that one hurts for the Crows. Lions get a big one late in the third term. The Crows waste a big chance down the other end, and the Lions counter with absolute precision. Big goal, back to 11 points. So the Matildas is still 0-all and 78 minutes gone into the second half. Great goal there for the Lions, though. So we're back in the middle. O'Brien, a little tap out the back to Sloan. Did well to shake off his opponent. Then step past Neil. Did brilliantly. Age doesn't weary him. He sends it inside the forward 50. Philthorpe dives down. Andrews gets a boot to ball. Wilmot taps it away from Murphy. Actually did really well, Wilmot, but then just couldn't glove it. Goes out of bounds. Forward pocket here for the Crows. So it's Taylor Walker and McInerney in the ruck. Walker's taken all the ruck roll all night, up forward. Again, we get a goal that he does his trademark move, pushes the defender under it, gets it out the back, taps it forward this time, Walker. Rochelle dragged down, trying to get the ball to boot, couldn't do so. Wilmot tackles him. A little bit closer to the goal. Here the Crows, 20 metres out from their goal, pretty much straight in front. McInerney takes it out of the ruck, straight to the boot. Sends a little tumble punt outside the defensive 50. Does well there, down to push his opponent under it. Then the kick was really weird. It kicked it straight into Keane, and then it rolls out of bounds. So about 75 out from the Crows' goal. O'Brien, little tap out, goes towards the boundary line. Keys kicks it away. Could be in trouble here, Ben Keys, and he is. I was on the full anyway. I thought it was deliberate, but nonetheless. Fletcher works it inside to McCluggage. Sends a high ball towards Danaher one-on-one. Good body there from Keane. Takes the mark. The Irishman with a great mark there. He's had a good match on in defence, Keane. He wants to give it to the runner in Nankervis. Absolute floater towards half forward. Sloan did well. Now off to Keys. And Hinge breaks 50. A big goal against the former side. Hooks it too much. Back to 10 points. So in short now, and Harris Andrews has the football. So in the back pocket is Harris Andrews. High ball towards the wing. Danaher plays for the free, didn't get it. McInerney did well to handle it over the top. Great little tap on there. Now the Lions can go. McCluggage down the wing, good kick. He finds Hipwood. So about 2 good kicks away from goal. Hipwood says a low ball inside the forward 50 to Charlie Cameron. Great hands from the small. And a chance here late in the third term. He's really lit up this third quarter, Charlie Cameron. A chance for his third. Great hands. Michael Annie was all over him. It was really good defence. He couldn't have done any better. But Charlie Cameron just had the hands out, strong hands. So Charlie Cameron comes in. That's a better kick, Charlie. 16 points the difference. Late third term. Big time goal there from Charlie Cameron. Bounces it down once again in the middle. Both Bruckman can't get to it. McCluggage steps crouch brilliantly. Then kicks the ball inside the forward 50. Low ball to who else but Charlie Cameron. He's got that strut now, Charlie. And late in the third term, a chance for another late one. That was great work from McCluggage in the middle of the ground. Had a good match, Hugh McCluggage. But Charlie Cameron really setting the scene right now. Cameron comes in. Oh, comes off the side of the boot. That wasn't a part of the script, Charlie. Hipwood goes up and gives away the free kick. Ryan Brown, hey Dad, how you doing, son? So Brian has the free kick in the back pocket. Little bit of a reprieve there for the Crows. Charlie Cameron was really going hard late in this quarter. Just couldn't get a good connection on that ball. And Miller works it in short. He finds Michael Annie. And the three-quarter time siren is now. Siren goes. The Lions lead it by 16 points going into the last change. 14-8, 92 to the Lions. Lead the Crows 11-10, 76. Alrighty, guys. So, a three-quarter time, we have the leading disposal getter on the ground is Hugh McCluggage and Matt Crouch, both with 24. We have 23 to Rory Laird, 20 to Lachie Neale, along with Wayne Miller. And for the AFL Fantasy watchers out there, we have leading all-comers is Hugh McCluggage with the 99, Wayne Miller with the 87, Rory Laird with the 82, Lachie Neale with the 74, and then Taylor Walker rounds out the top 5 with the 70. Still 0-0 in the Matildas game, by the way, guys. 86 minutes gone. Alright, I'm just going to go to the toilet and then we'll get to the last quarter when it comes up. Ugh. My butt. So players getting into position now, guys. 16-point lead to the Lions going in at three-quarter time. Charlie Cameron really lit up the third term. He's got 3 goals now. Michael Andy's actually done really well on him. It's really unfortunate, really, for him. So it's at the 90th minute now. Just hit stoppage time. And it is 0-0 Matildas versus France. So it may well be going to stoppage time. Sorry, going to a extra time, sorry. So the fourth quarter now, guys, is getting underway. Lions lead it by 16 points. Definitely not over for the Crows. They can get a couple of early ones. Definitely send a shutter through the backsides of the Lions. From the ruck, though, O'Brien knocks it down. Saligo gets the handball out. Crouch out to Millerer. Try to get the handball away. He probably blocked it by his own hand, unfortunately. But he gets out now for the Crows. Crouch to Hinge. Free kick will go to the Crows. But it was a call from an out of play umpire, so it will have to be called back. Dawson has it. Drives the ball long inside the forward 50. Leading up was McAdam. Couldn't bring it down. It gets out the back. Keys. Tackled well by Leicester. Stoppage called. From the ruck there, Walker almost threw it out. It gets out to Keys. Played for the high one. Didn't get it, Keys. Now Fogarty to Crouch over the top to Saligo. One more handball than they're out here. Off to Dawson from 50. He loves this moment. Goes towards goal. Out the back as Andrews takes a brilliant mark. So at half-back now, they have McCarthy. He's had a pretty good game. Only kicked the 2 goals, but he's definitely done well with the football when he gets it. Sends the ball long down the wing. It just stays inbounds for a moment. I think Archie got a touch on it. He did. So blood rule's being called now. Ben Keys actually did get a high one. He probably should have got a free kick for it. A lot of blood streaming out of his head now. Ben Keys slowly coming off to the bench now. Ben Key's not looking too impressed with him, but I think he definitely should have got a free kick for that. From the tap down, McInerney goes to Dunkley, couldn't gather it. McInerney will soccer off the ground. Neal did well. And now Fletcher. Great tackle from Rochelle. Handballs it towards the boundary line. Could be in trouble. No, he's holding the ball. So Rochelle gets the free kick. He's done well since he came on. Great smother though from Fletcher. Just to answer back as who's the better sub today. Now the Crows on the wing. Hinge sends the ball long. Up goes O'Brien. Taps it towards the boundary line. It eventually will get there. A lot of the crowd were trying to call for that being out of bounds down at half back. But it wasn't called. And now they're half forward, the Adelaide Crows. From the stoppage now, McInerney knocks it down. Rochelle tries to get boot to ball. Great pressure from Dunkley. Probably got a high one there from Rochelle. Wasn't paid. O'Brien takes it out of the ruck. Gets the handball away. Good smother there from Zorko. Now Fletcher sends a high ball. It's in the middle of the ground. It's dangerous, and Hinge cuts it off. He wants to give it off. Now Dawson. Oh, he's a lethal user. Hooks it long. One-on-one. Walker gets out the back and out of bounds. So, at the full-time mark, it's 0-0 Australia versus France, so we will be going to extra time. So they'll have an extra 30 minutes. Umpire throws it in now. Walker in front, couldn't get the ball. Now Crouch did well. Off to Laird, trying to get his right boot, couldn't. Twins around on his left. High ball inside the top of the goal square. Payne knocked it away. McKenna got a hard bump. Did well though to get the ball away. Now Wilmot sends a high ball towards the middle of the ground. Michaelani did okay. Great work there from Worrell. Just couldn't get the handball away. Great pressure from the Lions. Michaelani's tackle was brilliant. That's holding the footy. They were away there, the Lions, if that handball didn't get shut down there by Michaelani. Player got put down behind play. It is a Lions player. Meanwhile, the ball gets sent inside the forward 50 for the Crows. Gets out the back inside the forward pocket. And it will be a stoppage. Hipwood has not got up yet. I think he's just winded. But he has been hit behind play. Which the AFL do not like to see. So whoever has done this could be under a lot of scrutiny going into the next week. It was Brody Smith. He must have got him right in there, because I don't think he's faking it, but it wasn't much of a hit. So inside the forward 50 for the Crows. They've had the territory so far in the first few minutes. Coming through is Pedler. Oh, he's fighting hard. Gouges out of there. The kick towards the top of the 50. Couldn't take it there. Work hard. Where was McCarthy to get back? Murphy gives it off to Walker. He'll get the kick it forward. And he's taken the mark, Rory Laird. Wasn't the most effective kick from Walker, but it's all good for the Crows. Rory Laird takes the mark about 25 metres out straight in front. So Rory Laird hasn't been the most accurate shot for goal. 3 goals, 7 this year. He's hooked it a little. He's hooked it too much. So for the perfect start for the Crows in the final term, doesn't come to plan. So the Lions working through the middle of the ground. Leicester, they get out the back here, the Lions, and it's McCarthy. He's got 2 so far. He's got Fletcher leading into the pocket. He's also got McCluggage in short. But I think McCarthy's going to take responsibility now. So after a really good start for the Crows in this last term, a chance here for the Lions to make them pay. McCarthy only had the 9 touches, but he's had a really good influence on this game so far. He has kicked 2 goals. A chance here for his third. So about 40 metres out. Kick will come from about 45. McCarthy comes in. He's lifted out a little bit to the right. And it's not going to come back. So both teams can't capitalise on their early chances. So Ben Key's just getting some repairs on the boundary line. Meanwhile, the Crows in the middle of the ground. Not the best kick, but it's just spoiled away. Should have been marked in the middle there from the Lions. McCarthy just gets it forward. Zorko off to Archie. Great smother there from Michael Annie with the handball. Got a high one there, McAdam. 1, 2, 3 times, and he gets the free kick. Great smother there. I think it was Michael Annie. I think I called Michael Annie there. It was him. It was a great smother on the handball, because if that handball gets through there, away there, and that's an easy goal. Michael Annie has the ball at half-back. Doesn't have a lot of options. Eventually goes in short. Almost missed Schonberg, but he got him in the end. Wants to get a little handball there, Michael Annie, and he does. Runs off that half-back line. Dribbling ball towards the wing. Wasn't the best option. Now Wilmot on the counter. Went to go inside, then went outside towards half-forward. Great kick to Bailey. Been a little bit quieter in the second half, Zach Bailey. Good mark, though, at 50. He's got Archie leading back towards the top of the goal square. He's also got Danaher pointing next to Keane. Bailey, always a pretty good user. Sends it high ball towards the top of the goal square. Archie! 1-2. Nearly grabbed the third. Couldn't. Worrell just gets the ball out of defensive 50. It actually works. Saligo off to Dawson. He's got McCarthy trailing him. He just gets the kick away. Murphy wants to give it off. Now Laird steps back inside. Just got the handball away, but they cut it off again. The Lions. McCluggage off to Andrews over the top. Dunkley stands back. Coming back towards Pryor. He sends it inside the forward 50. 1-on-1 is Charlie Cameron. Great spoil away there, Nankervis. Now Zorko went to handball in outside, then goes back inside with a brilliant kick. Dropped it on a dime for Eric Kipwood, who takes the mark. So a chance here for Eric Kipwood to settle the nerves here for the Lions. To get a 22-point lead. Hasn't been the best from this position. Kicked 6 goal 8 from this spot all grounds. Just outside, about 35 metres out. Slightish angle. Hipwood comes in. Umpire does not move. Lions start the fourth quarter with a brilliant goal. So the extra time has started now for Matilda's game. Still, it was 0-0 going at full time. 22-point lead now, which is a game high for both sides. Even though it just feels like the Crows are still in it, the Lions just keep on plugging away. And Eric Hipwood finishes a big goal there. That's his first goal of the afternoon, Eric Hipwood. He's been pretty good up and down the ground today, probably playing at that 80 metres out roll to right on the wing. So we're back in the middle once again. Terrible bounce from the umpire. I think that's the 5th one this afternoon, so I don't know why they just don't throw it up anymore, but anyway. So we're back in the ruck. McInerney knocks it down, gathers the ball, try to get a kick away, couldn't. Now Crouch out the back towards Dawson, who gets a little bit of meterage. Kicks it inside the forward 50 with a great kick to Rochelle. Couldn't glove it. Now Leicester worried out of it well. Keys couldn't glove it though either. Just taps it out. And then McKenna handballs a little underground ball to Leicester, who's happy to take it out of bounds. So about 60 metres out from the Crows' goal. The Crows need the next one to stay alive in this game. And their season is on the line as well. McInerney knocks it down. Neal straddled by Crouch and then left the ball behind. Neal working hard. Off to McCluggage, just out of the grasp of Robertson. He gets dragged down by Dawson. And a stoppage is called right at the Lions interchange gate. From the ruck, coming through there is McInerney. Did well there, Barry. Just a break past a couple of Crows. Gets the ball to boot. That's a free kick against Keane. He grabbed the jumper and threw him away. So Danaher gets the free kick. This is dangerous times here for the Crows. Danaher has the ball. He's usually a pretty good ball user. Now Danaher goes into the pocket. Up goes McCarthy. Went a bit early. Just couldn't get the hang time he needed. Saligo kicks it out on the full. So it'll be coming back. Zach Bailey will have the free kick. So Zach Bailey looking for an option. Decides to send a high ball towards the top of the goal square. Michael Aney coming across. Did well to spoil it. Hinge. At the back to Keane. He's going to be pressured up. Did well to break past Zorko. The kick is an absolute floater, which will work. Dawson takes it at half back. Little bit lucky, but the Crows need a little bit of that going in for the rest of this match. Off to Fogarty, who's been very quiet tonight. Back to Millerer. Now Fogarty, Millerer again. Trying to find a free man. Dawson gives it off to Saligo. Still trying to find that free man, the Crows. Saligo's kick is brilliant. Great work from Andrews, though, to spoil it away from Fogarty, and it's out of bounds. Five minutes into stoppage time. 5 minutes into extra time, and it's still 0-0. Dawson already had the 8 touches, and they've still got 11 and a half minutes of playing time left. Crouch got dragged down. He should be pinned for it. Wasn't paid. Got very lucky there, Matt Crouch. From the tap down, Laird sees it out of bounds. Right in front of the interchange gates at the Gabba, which is on the opposite side of most grounds, which is really strange, but nonetheless. O'Brien gets the tap down. McCluggage couldn't glove it. Now Schonberg did brilliantly. Great gather. Runs a little arc and then kicks the ball. Gets pushed as he kicked though. Nankervis got to go up. Did very well. And now Hinge, usually a pretty good user. Sends it inside the forward 50. In front was Thilthorpe. Couldn't bring it down. In front is Ben Keys. Gives it out to Walker, who taps it to himself. Taylor Walker snaps. Too much. Big opportunity there for the Crows. Goes begging. Ben Keys just didn't have a right boot to snap then, so he had to give it off to Walker. And he had to rush it a little. So out on the wing now. Tackled Worrell without it. Rayner trying to get the handball away. He does, but he handballs it to the boundary line. He's going to be pinged for that. Free kick will go to the Crows. Centre wing on the broadcast side. Sloan has the football. Works the ball towards the 50. Walker gets in front. Great hands. He immediately goes on the left boot. Usually pretty good user with both legs. Sends a high ball towards Thilthorpe out the back. Wilmot gives it off towards Starskovich. Did well there, the Lions. Gets chased down there, Berry. That's in the back. It'll be a free kick downfield, I think, for the Lions. How many minutes left? There's 10.5 minutes to go. So it'll be a free kick back where the kick was taken there from Berry. Got a massive shove to the back there from Ben Keys. So the kick will be taken by Devin Robertson, which is weird. Anyway, Robertson takes the kick. Who are you going for, Blues or Demons? Who am I going for? I think I tipped Carlton, but I'm going to be going for Melbourne because I'm a Swans fan, and if the Blues lose, it's better for our finals chances. Berry tries to get the handball away. He's tackled well. Brilliant tackle there. Pin the arm. And now the Crows can go. Miller gets it inside the forward 50. In front is Phil Thorpe. Couldn't bring it down. Spoiled away. Neal tried to break away a little. He could be in a bit of trouble. Umpire gives him a reprieve. Umpire throws it up once again. Walker pushed out of it. Did well, McInerney. Gets the clearance. Outside the defensive 50. Bounces past Hipwood. McCarthy coming in hard. Did well there, the Crows. Hinge off to Smith. Now Nankervis. He plays on. Sends the ball inside the forward 50. Great mark in front there is Phil Thorpe. Takes a brilliant mark. It was actually a great kick inside the forward 50. There was a free kick called back where Nankervis was for the Crows. Took the advantage and did brilliantly with the kick. So a chance here for Phil Thorpe. He's been pretty quiet today. Only the one score involvement, 5 touches. But a chance to take his moment here, Phil Thorpe. And he drills it! Crows are still alive. Their season is on the line tonight. Phil Thorpe still keeps it alive. So 8 minutes gone into extra time. Australia versus France. It's still 0-0. Just got in front there, Phil Thorpe. Did brilliantly with the hands. Almost wrenched his shoulder out with that celebration there. But a good finish there from Phil Thorpe. He gets his first. Back to 15 points. So back in the middle once again. Takes it out of the ruck there, McInerney. He gets the ball forward towards centre half forward now. Gets out the back of Hinge. Now Rayner trying to gather it. Great work there from Nankervis to worry him out of it. Now Hinge sends it out the defensive 50. Keys probably should have marked that. McKenna working hard. Great work from Pryor. Just spun out of it brilliantly. Sends the ball out wide. Miller cuts it off though. So defensive side of the wing now, the Crows can go. Miller sends it long. Good kick to Saligo. They got a runner, keeps going. Saligo wheels around on 50. Phil Thorpe getting into it, takes the mark. Works it inside the forward 50. Not a good kick to Walker. Payne couldn't gather it though. So he's under pressure. It dribbles towards Fogarty. He's trying to break away. Off to Walker. Smothered well. Great scrambling defense there from the Lions. Gets it outside the 50, but not very far. Saligo takes it. He wheels and goes. Dangerous kick. Crouch couldn't glove it. Now Robertson couldn't glove it either. Almost held on to Laird. And the Crows get a free kick. Rory Laird gets the free kick. He had a chance in the third term to kick a goal. Straight in front. He missed it. This is a big time goal here for the Crows. They need their senior players to stand up. Can Laird convert? By the way, the Matildas game, France have actually scored the goal with 10 minutes into extra time. So it's 1-0 France. Rory Laird been pretty good today. He kicks this goal. It's back to 9 points. After the Lions got the first goal of this quarter, everyone thought the Lions would just run away with it. But the Crows don't take their chance. Rory Laird misses another big opportunity. 14 points the difference. Wait, no, it wasn't a goal. I think it was called away from VAR. Yeah, it was recalled, so it wasn't a goal to France. It's called back. Slung down there. Danaher Saligo, not called for a free kick, so it is still 0-0. 101 minutes gone in the game, 11 minutes into extra time. From the play, though, in the footy, McInerney knocks it down. Berry couldn't glove it. Now Saligo did well. Off the crouch, out the back to Dawson, who gets booted to ball, but he gets smothered. Neal turns it over. Laird straight off to Saligo. Sends the ball inside the forward 50, gets right to the forward pocket, and goes on the full. So the Lions will get the ball back. Still 7 minutes to go in this game. If the Crows can get one in the next couple of minutes, it makes it really interesting in the past 5 minutes of this game. But if the Lions can steady with another one, I think it's game over. Andrews has the football now in the back pocket. Sends a low ball down the wing. Couldn't glove that one there, McInerney. Saligo turns into a bit of trouble. Then didn't dispose of it legally. Umpire calls for a ball up, though. O'Brien, little tap away. Crouch did well. Off to Laird. Laird gets it on the boot towards centering a ball inside the forward 50. Walker probably could have marked that. Rochelle gets it out the back. Does well to Schonberg. Big chance for the young man. Schonberg nails it. Big chance here for the Crows. They're right in this one. 8 points the difference. Big time goal there for Harry Schonberg. And the Lions have been in this situation before against Melbourne a couple of weeks ago. They had a massive lead and they just didn't keep on going with it. They stopped and it brought the Demons back into it and they stole it late. The Crows have not had the lead since really the first term or second term. And a big chance here for the Crows to really bring this one back. They believe the Crows. The Crows know if they lose this one, finals is all but gone. They're going to keep going here. The Lions need to keep going as well if they want to win this one. 6.5 minutes to go, man. McCluggage gets dragged down, can't get it away. Ball up, called in the middle of the ground. Back in the ruck now. O'Brien gets it down, slaps it away there, Dunkley, but O'Brien did well to gather it. Gives it out to Saligo. They're out in the wing here. Laird working it back to Brodie Smith, who just took it. Did okay. Robertson's doing good pressure on him. They're right out to half back here, the Crows. Keane did okay. Left foot ball was a brilliant kick from the Irishman, and he finds Crouch. Blistering ball there from Keane, the Irishman, with a great kick. He goes in short, finds Laird. So Laird in short, finds Miller, who, a little bobble, but he did take it. Miller is looking for a perfect option, but decides to just go long with the kick in the pocket. Spoiled away there, Leicester. Dragged in, almost in trouble. Now Murphy. Free kick's been ripped out. And it's going to go to the Lions. So Leicester takes the free kick in the back pocket. They can't just hold this game in the Lions. There's too much time. There's still 5.5 minutes to go. They can't hold the ball for that long. So now in the other back pocket, they have Harris Andrews with the football. Andrews wants to switch the ball once again. It's a dangerous kick, but did well actually, Berry, to get some space. He goes in short. Berry's missed him. And now the Crows can cause the turnover. Rochelle from 45. He likes a big highlight, this guy. He's at the post. He missed it. Rochelle with a big time opportunity. Misses again, and the Crows have missed a couple in this last quarter. 7 points the difference. Matthew Nicks knows there's a big opportunity coming here for the Crows. He knows their season's on the line. Long kick here from McKenna towards the boundary. McInerney went up. Probably, he did 2 sets of hands there for the Lions, but McInerney takes the mark on the wing. So 5 minutes now. 5 minutes still to go now. McInerney sends the ball long. Danaher did well to get it out of bounds. So the live ladder shows right now that the Lions are in second spot if the game finishes right now. The Crows right back at 12th position. You turn this around though, the Crows win this game and they're in the 8. O'Brien wins it down. Wilmot keeps the front spot, did well, probably got held. Dunkley tackled well there from O'Brien. Now the Crows get the ball. Saligo out to Dawson. He steps Neal, then went back with the handball to Crouch. Usually pretty good with it. Sends a helicopter towards half forward. And then great mark there from Leicester. Lester in short. He finds McCluggage, who's probably been best on ground today. Doesn't have a lot of options, McCluggage, so they go down the line here. Up goes Danaher! Didn't get anywhere near it. Probably should have been a free kick against him. Bailey dragged down there from Crouch. That is a big-time tackle. He didn't really tackle him that much. He just grabbed the front of his shirt and dragged him to the ground. But that's big time. Crouch goes in short to Miller. That wasn't 15, so Crouch has to go inside. Good kick. Finds Brodie Smith. They want to switch it to the Crows. They know they've got some time. Marcolani now. Cameron put him down behind the play. Could be a free kick downfield. Doesn't really matter. Schonberg took it. So 2 good kicks away from goal here, the Crows. Schonberg kicked the last one. Low ball inside the forward 50 and leading back is Pedler. Some of their kicking inside the forward 50 from the Crows in this quarter has been brilliant. They're finishing not so much, but a chance here for Luke Pedler to bring it back to within 1 point. So Luke Pedler, one of the biggest kicks of his career, is right on his boot now. 45-degree angle, 45 metres out. He's absolutely shanked it. It goes into the forward pocket. Up goes Sloan. Knocked it through for a behind, and it's an even 6-point game. The Crows have messed up some opportunities in this last term. Will they be ruining these missed chances late? Of course, there is also the talk of the draw coming as well. Just under 3 minutes to go. Long ball down the wing. Keane did okay. Just couldn't glove it. Danaher missed the ball. Socketed away, though. Did well there, Robertson, and Archie leaves it to go out of bounds. Two and a half minutes to go. 2 minutes 39 to be exact. On the wing here at the Gabba. Big time game for both sides. Crows season on the line. Lions top 2 chances on the line. Umpire throws it in again. O'Brien goes to ground in the ruck contest. Sloan just gets boots a ball. It runs away. Zorko couldn't glove it. Now gets away. Zorko working hard. Almost knocked it away from his teammate, Berry. Trying to get it out. Great tackle there from the Crows. Drags him down. Stoppage called. A goal the difference. Umpire throws it up again. McInerney, little tap away. Berry, tackled well there from Laird. Gets taken to ground. Dawson just got to let go of McCluggage, who gives away the free kick. McCluggage taps it out the back, does well. But now the Crows cause a turnover. Dawson gets dragged down. This could be it. And it's pinholed in the ball. Free kick will go to the Lions. Dawson trying to do a little bit too much there. There's still time. 2 minutes, 6 seconds to go. Halfback here are the Lions. Time stops at 2:06. No more interchanges here for the Crows. Only 1 left for the Lions, so no more interchanges can be made. They've got to remember that. We've seen 1 game this season be decided by that against North Melbourne with the Sydney Swans. Berry gets the ball across his body, but it goes out on the fall. The Crows will have possession. So Rochelle has it at half-back. This is probably the biggest chance the Crows are going to get. Rochelle sends a high ball towards the wing. Play gets put down behind play. Harris Andrews spoils it away. Going up hard there was Berry. Gets to Murphy. At the back is Hinge. Usually a pretty lethal left boot. Sends it inside the forward 50. In front was Walker. Great spoil from behind from Payne. Dribbles towards the boundary line. 1.5 minutes to go. What a massive game this has been. It's going to go right down to the wire. The Crows have shown a lot of heart, especially in this last quarter. But the Lions have been good throughout most of it. Most of this second half has been the Lions' way, but the Crows have caught back in this last term. O'Brien spikes it forward. McCluggage, little kick away. That wasn't 15. Zorko trying to claim it. It wasn't. Rochelle drags him down. Zorko not too impressed, but I don't think it was the 15. Minute 16 to go. 30 metres out from the Crows' goal. Big time moments here. Who can take them? Little soccer off the ground there from Walker. Starskovich dragged down from Murphy. Another stoppage called. Minute to go. Who can take the chance? Can the Crows get a late one or can the Lions clear? They'll want to lock it up here, the Lions. McInerney, little tap down, trying to get it forward there was Fogarty. He gets a little handball away. Zorko, dangerous handball. Hinge snaps on goal against the former side. It gets towards the top of the goal square. Andrews did well. Now Wilmot gets it outside the defensive 50. It's a long ball. Hipwood takes it big time. No, dropped it. Now Keane gives it off to Worrell, who gets a little spiral ball inside the forward 50. McInerney can't mark. Now Archie dragged down from Miller. Stoppage called. 42 seconds to go. Actually stops at 40. Who can hold on? Can the Lions hold on, or can the Crows get a late one? O'Brien taps it away. McCluggage dragged down from Walker. Can't get rid of it. Stoppage called again. 33 seconds. Oh, this is going to be real right and tight, right down to into the wire. McInerney knocks it down. Walker trying to break free. Great tackle from Berry. Trying to get a kick away there. McKenna looking for a high one there. Hinge. No one called it. Stoppage called again, 23 seconds. Lions are actually doing really well at the moment just to lock it in. The Crows want a player out in space. Clock stops at 22. Little tap away there, McInerney gets to Berry, who clears it. Will it come back, though? He's working hard there, Danaher takes the mark! They'll get home, the Lions! Great mark from Joe Danaher. Big time moment from the big money man in Joe, who sends a long ball down the wing. The Lions are going to be home all right. What a moment for the Lions. They hold strong against the hard-fighting Crows. They win it by 6 points. And the Lions keep their top two hopes alive, while the Crows, gallant in defeat, may well have shot their final spot in the foot. They had their chances in the final term, the Adelaide Crows. They couldn't take them. And the Lions at home hold on for a massive win. So, guys, the final scores. The Lions have won 15-9-99 to the Crows. 13 goals, 15-93. That is the final scores, guys. Thanks for watching. If anyone's wondering about the Matildas, it's still 0-0, 109 minutes, so 4 minutes into the second half of stoppage time. Thanks for watching the stream today, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to subscribe, and the podcast will be out on Tuesday, as always. But thanks for watching, guys.